Namaskar. Today we will discuss the solution of linear equation system by iterative method or indirect method. In the previous lecture we have discussed the direct methods for the solution of simultaneous linear equation system which yields the solutions after an amount of computations that is known in advance. In the iterative or indirect methods, we start from an approximation to the true solution, and if convergent, drive a sequence of closer approximations, the cycle of computations being repeated till the required accuracy is obtained. In general, for the solution of linear equation system, one should prefer direct method. But in case of matrices with a large number of zero elements, it will be advantageous to use iterative method. In case of matrices with a large number of zero elements, it will be advantageous to use iterative method which preserves these elements. So, if we have non-zero elements, then one should prefer the direct methods, and if we have a large number of zero elements in the matrix or linear equation system, then it is advantageous to use iterative methods. Here we will discuss two iterative methods. Number 1, Jacobi method of iteration, and number 2, Gauss-Seidel method. First, we will discuss Jacobi method of iteration. For this, let us consider a linear equation system given here. Here we can see we have n linear equations with n unknown x named x1, x2, x3 up to xn, and in this equation system the diagonal elements named aii, for example a11, a22, a33 up to ann, do not vanish. If this is not the case, then the equations given in the equation system 1 are arranged so that aii is not equal to 0. After arranging these equations, we have equation system 1. So for this equation system, aii is not equal to 0. Now we compute x1 from the first equation. We compute x1 from the first equation and x2 from the second equation and x3 from the third equation, and so on xn from the nth equation. Here we can see from the equation system 1 we have computed values of x1, x2, x3, xn in this form. So after rewriting these equations, we have equation system 2 named 2. Suppose x1 x1, x2 up to xn, first approximated values are represented by x1 with superscript 1, x2 with superscript 1 up to xn with superscript 1 represent the first approximations to the unknowns x1, x2 up to so on up to xn. These are the first approximated values of x. If these are not known, then we find first approximated values by substituting x2 equals to 0, x3 equals to 0 and so on, xn equals to 0 in equation first. Then we get the first approximated value of x1 equals to v1 over a11, and first approximated values of x2 represented by x2 1 will be in this. For this we substitute x2 equals to 0, x3 equals to 0 and so on, xn equals to 0. Then first approximated value of x2 will be x2 1 equals to v2 over a22. In similar manner we can find out x3 1 equals to v3 over a33 and so on, xn equals to vn over ann. So we get the first approximated values of x. Now after getting first approximated values of x, we substitute first approximation into the right hand side of the equation system 2. We substitute the first approximation into the right hand side of the equation system 2 and denote the obtained value from left hand side by second approximation as x12, x22, x32, xn2. Then we get the second approximation for x denoted by the equation system 3. Similarly, we get the third approximation by substituting second approximation into the right hand side of the equation system 2 and denoting obtained values from left hand side, obtained values of x in left hand side by third approximation. Hence by following same we get other approximation if x1 with superscript n, x2 with superscript n and so on, xn with superscript n are a system of nth approximations. Then next approximation is given as this represent the n plus 1th approximation for x and obtained by substituting the nth approximation of x into the right hand side of the equation system 2. This entire process is repeated till the values of x, x1, x2 up to xn are obtained to the required accuracy. So this is the Jacobi method of iteration. In the matrix form we can write equation 2 as x equals to bx plus c. Here capital X denote the column matrix with n rows x1 x2 up to xn, and capital V denote the matrix square matrix n cross n, square matrix with 0 diagonal elements, and C is also a column matrix with n rows. And for this iteration formula represented by equation 4 can be written as x, capital X, which represent the matrix with superscript n plus 1 equals to matrix B multiply with column matrix capital X with superscript small n plus capital C, which is also a column matrix. This method is given by the Jacobi. So this method is called the Jacobi method of iteration and is called the method of simultaneous displacement. The sufficient condition for the convergence of this method is given here. This is the modulus of the determinant of the matrix B should be less than 1. This is the sufficient condition for the convergence of the Jacobi method for the iteration. So this is all about the iteration method given by the Jacobi or Jacobi method of iteration. In the next lecture, we will discuss the Gauss-Seidel method of iteration